I think that if you watch Free Solo, you gain an appreciation of my climbing. It's definitely not about the thrill. It's not for the rush. It's more about the long process of self-improvement and self-mastery, trying to be the best climber that I can be. Because if anything, I'm trying to avoid the thrill. I'm trying to avoid getting really scared.
I think you look exactly the same from the documentary.
Well, it is a documentary. I should look the same.
Even the haircut, Sonny have this haircut as well.
That's because, yeah, Sonny's still cutting my hair.
Oh, wow.
So it all looks the same.
What do you think of her skill? Has she improved?
I think she has improved over the 3.5 years that we've dated, but I think that she has a long ways to go.
Okay.
But it's free, and you can't argue with free.
In the movie, you said that...
I will always choose climbing over a lady.
And you still think that now?
It's fair to say. I mean, so some of the lines in the film, you know, sound a little harsh now, because I started dating my girlfriend after we'd already started working on the film. So I'd had this dream of free soloing El Cap for 8 years or something at that point, and then I met this new woman who was incredible, but you know, it's a new relationship, who knows if it's going to be important or not. So I said a lot of things that sound really bad now, but
so you would take that back?
Well, I don't know, I wouldn't take it back, because at that moment, definitely my goal of free soloing El Cap was more important than this 6-week-old relationship. You know, but now, having climbed El Cap and being in a 3.5-year relationship, it's like the balance changes a lot, because right now I don't have any climbing goals that are more important than my relationship. But that's not to say that in the future there might not be something that's more important to me. But probably not, we'll see.
I still think that you and Sonny had a beautiful time in the movie, but you also said that...
For Sonny, the point of life is like happiness. For me, it's all about performance. It's about being a warrior.
How do you cope with it now? Like, do you find a balance in between, or...?
Yeah, it's interesting because in the film, there's definitely a tension between me seeking this life of achievement and trying to perform, and Sonny trying to be a little bit more happy in life. But the irony, though, is that Sonny is incredibly hardworking and very motivated and works very hard at her job and is constantly striving in her own life as well, trying to be a better climber, trying to be better in her work. In some ways, I don't think there's as much of a difference between us as it seems in the film, because basically we're both trying to be as good as we can at what we do. You know, we're both very passionate about the things that we want to spend our time on. The interesting thing about any kind of film, and Free Solo particularly, it's a snapshot of this particular period in our lives. That happened to be 2 years in which Sonny quit a job, vacation for a year, and I was extremely focused on this one goal for the entire time. And so in some ways it looks like we have this really different lifestyle, but then since the film has come out, she's been working incredibly hard on her business, and I'm just basically climbing whatever I want, very casually, touring with the film. It's all pretty relaxing, and so if anything, our lives have completely switched. That's the funny thing about film, is that, you know, the film is completely true. I mean, it's all honest, like that's what happened. But that's only 2 years of our life. You know, I mean, it's still a small period in time.
You said that you've had several ex-girlfriends who said that you had personality disorders.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I mean, I think that I have changed a lot over the years. From childhood until now, I've steadily gotten more social skills. I'm better at talking with people. I'm a better communicator. I mean, I'm just a nicer person than I was 10 years ago. And so I think that some of my first serious relationships didn't end as well as they could have, just because I wasn't the best partner. But I think that's a pretty natural part of life. I mean, people learn and grow and hopefully improve over time. And I think that I'm just on the same path that everybody else is. But 22-year-old me was much meaner. Well, or just much more single-mindedly focused on climbing, and just didn't care about people as much.
Do you ever thought about marriage and children, especially children?
I definitely think about family. I mean, I really want grandkids someday, which means that I have to have kids someday. I think I'll probably have a family at some point. But my girlfriend is younger than me, and so it's there's not so much pressure, you know, we'll see.
So you want kids more than she does?
No, I said that I want grandkids.
Oh, grandkids.
And that means that I have to have kids at some point. I'm not as excited about kids, I really want grandkids.
Have you seen the film, the Free Solo?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Free Solo many times now.
Many times.
Yeah, many times. Well, so it's funny, when I saw it the first time, it was still a draft. It wasn't done yet. I thought, I was like, oh, it's good. You know, who knows? And then when I saw it with an audience and saw the response from the audience, I realized that it was actually a great film. Actually, when I saw it on IMAX the first time, I see it on the really big screen, I was like, this is incredible. It's a totally different experience. The movie means a lot to me, not just because the climb was so incredible for me and the goal of climbing El Cap meant so much to me, but also because the filmmakers are so talented and did such a great job of creating this incredible film. I think it really is a rare time in life where everything comes together in the right way. My dedication as a climber was perfectly matched by their effort as filmmakers, and it wound up with this incredible film.
How would you rate the film from 1 to 10?
I don't think I'm the person to ask, but I'd give the film a solid 9, I think. I mean, it's a really good film. It won an Academy Award, so obviously it's a pretty good film.
Do you still remember yourself when you were at the Academy Awards?
Yeah, I definitely remember the Academy Awards. Technically, I didn't win an Academy Award because I'm the subject of the film, and only the filmmakers actually win the award. But I still feel like a winner, it's still pretty cool. It was a crazy experience.
So do you think all the media exposure, the awards and the attention affected your climbing?
Honestly, I think that the thing that has changed me the most over the last decade is just being a professional climber, giving interviews, being at events, promoting the film, talking to audiences, talking to fans. Having people stop me in the airport all the time and just start talking to me. Sort of being forced to socialize all the time for many, many years has just made me better at socializing. It just is much easier now. I used to be much more shy and afraid of people, didn't want to talk to strangers.
I think that was quite funny because you said that climbing makes you more social, but...
Well, no, I said professional climbing, like being a professional. Being a professional climber means that you have to go to appearances, you have to, make films and things like that. Climbing full-time just means that you're actually at the cliff, and so when you're at the cliff you don't really see so many people, but being a professional means touring, and that winds up being quite social. Has just been to shift all my climbing indoors for the last year, because as I travel with the film promoting free solo, I was just climbing in the gym all the time, because I still want to climb as much as normal, but I just don't have the opportunity to go to the mountains. But we'll see. I mean, honestly, I still feel like I'm in the middle of free solo experience, because I'm here in Beijing, and so it definitely hasn't gone back to normal yet. We'll see what.
So what's your next target?
I have many other climbing goals, but none of them will be anything like free solo, just because there aren't really any other big walls like that in the world. It's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime sort of experience.
So do you ever set a retirement age for yourself?
No, I'll be climbing my whole life. I mean, hopefully even as a very old man I can go climbing with my grandkids. I think that there will be a natural end to the hard free soloing, just because I won't have a passion for it anymore. I just won't care.
So you don't think there will be a physical limit?
I think that climbing has fewer physical limits than most other sports, but I think that the real limit will be my passion for it. Whether or not I'm hungry to train and climb and try hard all the time.
Do you ever thought that question? Is it really worth it to put all your life
into climbing?
Yes, into climbing.
No, I've always felt like it's worth putting all my time and effort into climbing. What else would I be doing with my time? It's like, what else do I love more in life? I mean, I love going climbing, and I'm very happy as a professional climber, and yeah, it's definitely all been worth it for me, because it's not as if there's anything else that I'd rather be doing with my life. And if there was, I would just shift my focus and do that instead. Many people have a hard time finding their passion, finding what matters the most to them. And I think that the lesson from the film Free Solo is about leading your life intentionally and making very clear choices with how you want to spend the limited time that you have on Earth. Forced to think about death a lot, and that really puts everything into focus. That people who don't think about their own death, it's easy to just sort of coast through life and just never think about the fact that it's going to end and just kind of enjoy yourself and not worry about it. But even if you don't think about it, you're going to die at some point. We're all going to die. And so I think it's more important to accept that you are going to die, you have a finite amount of time, and then use that time as well as you can.